Although Xia Fei doesn't appear to be the fighter type, at least in the Britain arc, that doesn't mean that he isn't capable of protecting others. And although his overpowered big brother has been rescuing him whenever he's in trouble, that doesn't mean that Xia Fei isn't capable of protecting himself either. In order to protect yourself, it's not necessary to possess combat abilities, right? Hiding or escaping or the like, they are suffice to save your life after all. Notice that when the Three Stooges were running for their lives on this scene, Xia Fei stopped for a bit to use the garbage can to slow down their pursuers. I think this is clearly a sign that Xia Fei is the type who uses clever tricks to escape from attackers. So, whether this is his first time to be chased like this or not, it still shows that even in dangerous situations, he can still use his brains. And he definitely has an ability to stay calm in the face of danger. And that's quite impressive. It's also remarkable that Xia Fei is aware of his limits. So, if his little tricks didn't work, he calls for his savior. Literally. Xia Fei is wise enough to take advantage of all the resources he has. So, in other words, as Xia Fei had shown to us, you can defend yourself not just by fighting, but there are many alternatives. Asking for help is counted. And that doesn't make you weak, much less a coward. You can do plenty of amazing things by just being practical and smart. But not all attacks are physical. Remember this scene at the elevator when his coworkers were bad-mouthing about him? Although it's true that it will be more professional if he just controlled his temper. But I think he couldn't help but talk back because he doesn't want pathetic people ruining his reputation. And I don't think it's because he wanted to protect his pride, but it's more of because he is firm about protecting his dignity. He doesn't want to be labeled as someone who only acquired success because of favoritism. So he corrects those girls that he is being favored only because he really is that special. And when he fights back, he can be quite merciless. Xia Fei may love money and is even sort of selling his body to get quick cash, but he wouldn't go as far as working as a male escort. Just the idea of it already makes his blood boil. Xia Fei is surrounded by people jealous of him, and I don't think it's only at work, but even at school. Because of that, he definitely has a lot of enemies, and his anger management issues are making things difficult for him. So Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang becoming his first true friends must have made him so overjoyed. I think Xia Fei sees both Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang as his precious baby brothers. If I'm not mistaken, he's even older than Xiaoling by 1 year, so he was somewhat like Xiaoling's proxy while Shiguang were in Britain. But compared to Xiaoling, he certainly spoils Cheng Xiaoshi a whole lot more. Even if you put aside his mission, he's been doing so many favors for Cheng Xiaoshi without asking for anything in return. It's like he is pampering the boy. Cheng Xiaoshi, on the other hand, is like the little brother who doesn't run out of praises for his big bro. Xia Fei and Cheng Xiaoshi are very close, but that doesn't mean that Xia Fei cares about Lu Guang any less. So very much like Xiaoling, Xia Fei is protective of both Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang as well. If Xia Fei had been the selfish type, he could have run away on his own when the three of them were being chased. But nope, he stayed by their side till the end. He even included them among the people his savior is supposed to rescue. It's possible that he just wanted to be on their good side for the mission. But I think it's most likely that Xia Fei is just naturally the savior and self-sacrificial type, like Chen Xiaoshi. But regardless of why Xia Fei tends to go that far to protect the boys, there's no denying that his concern about them has become genuine. Whenever the boys fall down, we don't see any of the staff checking on them. Maybe they're just not shown, or there weren't as much staff around the area in the first place. But Xiaofei was definitely very fast on checking on them. He always runs quickly towards the duo, worried that the babies might have gotten hurt. Well, I suppose it's normal human reaction when you see a friend get hurt. But still, those moments show that Xiafei is willing to let go of anything just to ensure their safety. So, whether Xiafei ends up becoming an enemy or not, I'm certain that in season 3, we will be seeing him protecting Shiguang again, even if he has to go against Vayne. Actually, he has done something like that already. On this scene, when Shiguang suddenly disappeared while Vayne was busy fighting, even Sung Xiaoshe finds it rude to run off like that. Although, knowing Vayne, I don't think he would have gotten angry because he's most likely used to Xiafei doing the same. But even if Vayne got offended about it, Xiafei has defended the duo by blaming Vayne for scaring them off. I really love how Xiafei has the nerve to make it Vayne's fault even when Vayne just rescued their butts. But although Xiafei can be a little rude towards Vayne, we know that he treasures Vayne a lot. Of course, he will do anything to protect Vayne as well. Vayne is already so overpowered that he wouldn't be needing anyone's protection. Xiafei must have thought the same. Who could possibly defeat the strongest guy on Earth in Xiafei's eyes? Maybe an alien? Or maybe he can only be harmed through supernatural means. Even as an ordinary person, Xiafei is willing to face supernatural forces just to hunt down Vayne's murderer. And that's pretty dangerous. But Xiafei is that courageous. He is even willing to risk his future for Vayne's sake. Seeking justice on Vayne's behalf, it's somewhat like protecting Vayne. Not sure of the term. I guess it's like protecting Vayne's honor, maybe? But still, to go that far for Vayne, it shows how much Xiafei is willing to sacrifice for Vayne. And if you look at some events in the Brennan arc in another perspective, Xiafei has actually already protected Vayne in his own way. Like on that time when he heard the girls gossip about them at the elevator. They weren't just bad mouthing Xiafei, but they were saying bad things about his boss as well. So for them not to think that his boss is being unfair, he tells them that the boss just naturally acknowledges people who deserve it. Yeah, it's protecting Vayne's reputation in a way. And assuming it was Xiaofei who told on Jack about the information leak, then, in a way, Xiaofei had protected Vayne's company. They may be little things, but who knows? They may be a big deal to Vayne. As long as it's within his capabilities, Xiaofei will definitely be willing to do anything to protect Vayne. Which reminds me, since Xiafei is capable of sacrificing himself that much, then in season 3, he may do that either for Vayne or for Shiguang. Oh no! Xiafei already makes himself a meat shield for people he just met. Then what more towards the people whom he already treasures? Vayne is clearly one of them, and he just lost Vayne. Xiafei doesn't want to go through the pain of losing a loved one again, and that's why Despite what just happened with Vane, he still went to see Shiguang off at the airport. Xia Fei might have done that for a chance of Deng Xiaoshi remembering something, but I think it's mainly because he is worried about the two. He even told them to stop whatever they're doing because he doesn't want something bad to happen to them too. And as Xia Fei had said so himself, he doesn't want to lose the people he cares about again. Those who already went through such pain would understand what it feels like. It kind of reminds me of what Deng Xiaoshi's mother told her son. She wanted him to stop searching for them. Maybe it's mainly because she doesn't want him to ruin her plans, but it's most probably because she doesn't want him to be affected and get hurt. I can imagine Xia Fei doing something similar in season 3, especially when he finds out that Shiguang are involved in some supernatural case. And oh, there are so many possibilities of how he's going to react when he finds out that Vane is still alive. But for certain, he wouldn't want Vane to die on him again. So, can Xia Fei eventually become overprotective? What do you think? Well, whether you agree with me or not, I would appreciate it if you click the like button. That would motivate me to create more Xia Fei-centric videos or other link click content. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again. Take care!